Why is it that climate justice is social justice? See, for far too long, we in the environmental movement have focused primarily on the relationship between humans and nature. And we've done this at the expense of recognizing the inextricable link between how we treat each other and how we treat the planet. The reality is that the way we organize our society, our economy, and our politics determines how we interact with the natural world. And if we want to change our relationship with nature, then we must also change the way we organize our society. For example, we know that frontline communities, communities of color, and low-income communities are disproportionately women. Women who are already facing greater barriers to education, healthcare, decent housing, and good jobs. If we're serious about addressing the climate crisis, we must address the gender disparities that exist within our movement and within our society. Another example, for far too long, the environmental movement has been predominantly white. In fact, if you look at the leadership of major environmental organizations, it's over 90% white. And this has resulted in a movement that has failed to adequately address the needs and concerns of communities of color. We must do better. The diverse lived experiences of people of color must be at the center of our movement. And finally, we know that people with disabilities are disproportionately women and people of color. Yet the environmental justice movement has not done enough to ensure that the rights and needs of people with disabilities are considered in our campaigns and our policy. We must do better. So let's be clear, climate justice is social justice, because the climate crisis does not threaten us equally. It threatens women, people of color, and people with disabilities more than it threatens white men. And that's not just an unfortunate reality of life. That's an injustice, and we must acknowledge that injustice, and we must work to dismantle it. As the movement to address the climate crisis grows, we must ensure that it is a movement that is just and equitable for all. That means ensuring that the people most impacted by the climate crisis have a seat at the table and that their voices are heard. So again, why is climate justice social justice? Because it has to be. The good news is that more and more people are recognizing that we must fight for a more just and equitable world, not just for the sake of those who are most vulnerable, but for all of us. After all, we're all in this together.